How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about Shock Shop, issue number 3, or should I say, Shock Shop, issue number 3. Yeah, this is the anthology comic from Cullen Bunn, who you guys know for The Empty Man and Harrow County, lots of other cool stuff, and as I illustrated, it's a sort of a flip back and forth book. Half the comic is one story going one way, the other half is a totally other comic, and you have to flip it over and you read it that way. So yeah, sort of a two half books in one type deal. Pretty cool stuff. The art is by Leiz and Luckert. And if you guys have been following this series for a bit, you kind of know what to expect by this point. The stories have their own unique feel, which I really do like about them. One is wackier and more cartoony, the other is darker and serious, and we are starting to fall into the routine of each of these books and the full scale of what their story's about and what exactly is going on is fully becoming clear by this point. And I really do like all the stuff that's going on with this book. I like the fun pages with our horror host. I like each of the stories in their own way, and overall, I always get excited whenever I see this on the store shelves. It's just a really fun thing. Gotta love anthology books. But one thing I did notice, if you flip it to the middle, there's always that last page that tells you about next time, and it says, on sale December 7th, the terrifying anthology from horror maestro Cullen Bunn concludes, concludes. So, both of these stories are going to be over next time, which is sort of a new thing with this format. I noticed previously that, the stories always ended a little quick, but that's to be expected. They're half issues. But now it feels like the whole thing, it's going to be over next time. And I mean, I guess, yeah, it's going to be a big fun finale, but yeah, these do kind of feel short, but yeah, they're half issues. What can you expect? And I realize, even though it's going over the course of 4 books, because of that half issue thing, each of these stories are really only like 2 issues long, and they're a lot shorter than you may think of them, so they're going to end, and we'll see how that finale comes out next time. We're getting to the finale kind of quick, so I'll see just how much weight it does have, but I am curious. But as far as, getting towards the end, setting up that final action, this seems pretty cool, and we see both of these stories kind of hitting their stride and, showing what they're about, so I think that's cool. We'll see what the whole arc felt like after issue 4 when it ends. Now, fingers crossed and here's hoping. I really hope they keep this up. This is anthology, so after issue 4, they could jump to issue 5 and bring us 2 totally new stories, and I really hope they do. I feel that this book really needs to have more than just these 2, because if it just got 4 issues, then it would be an interesting way to present 2 stories, but to have that long-running anthology feel where a bunch of different shorts happen and the host introduces us to all these crazy worlds, you really do need to keep it going for a while to have that anthology feel, which I really hope we get. So, to stress the concept, to have the concept of Shock Shop really keep going, I hope we get more than just the 4, or I'm hoping this book comes back at some point. I don't know, and we'll have to see the middle bit in the middle next time, or maybe if you guys are better at searching than me, maybe you can find it out on the internet. But here's hoping we do get issue 5. But anyway, like what this is so far, and if you guys want to see a little bit more of each stories and a little bit more of the art, I won't do any major spoilers, but if you want to take a closer look at this book, I'm going to switch to the close-up camera and we can look at this thing a little closer. So without further ado, to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle taking a closer look at Shock Shop number 3. Let's go ahead and bring it closer to the camera. We get the Dark Horse logo, number 3, for $3.99. Pretty much the fair new comic book price. And we get the credits up here. Cullen Bunn is the writer and Leila Leiz. But to get Danny Luckert's credit, you have to flip the book over. Kind of interesting that the credits only appear on the relevant cover, so you don't just get everybody on the front, and it really depends on which way you display this. Now, personally, I always feel that Leila Leiz's covers, she usually gets to draw more the main host of the series. I find, the more cartoonish, energetic nature to be a little better. These other ones are always just a little somber, and they're good covers, and they're really well made, but I always felt that this was more the A cover of the series. But anyway, taking a closer look, we get to see her reading her book with skulls and tentacles and everything crawling out. Tentacles, but instead of suction cups, eyeballs. That's pretty cool. There's her skull hand. She's got a snake and all these zombies or ghosts or something behind her. And this nice bright teal. Very good cover. And the other one's good too, but like I said, a little more somber and less energetic. But we get all these skulls sort of in process of metamorphosis, and the nature, the trees, the leaves instead of guts surrounding a beating heart, and we get the torso here, male, female sort of division, again like the multiple skulls, emphasizing the transforming factor of this creature. I guess let's go ahead and crack it open. I'll be avoiding major spoilers, but I do want to show you guys a little bit of the book, the story, the art. I'll be avoiding the end, which I have to say, that's always a challenge doing single issues, but it's especially a challenge in this book because they are so short, but I'll try to be avoiding the end. But yeah, there's the poster once again for Familiars, showing the 3 little familiars there. But I also like this issue. We find her in the back room, and she's talking about it's new comic book day, and she has to sort out her supplies. And I really do like how following these speech bubbles guides your eye to the big spider, the mummy coming out, the snakes, and then over to her, and then all the way down to the tentacle coming out of this box. Lots of fun. There are lots of snakes in this, but I do like, having her do a bunch of different things, and even like, what are those little skulls on her bandana there? It's pretty cool. But after that, we get into the story proper, and we get to see it's the funeral for the ex-wife's new husband. And I always feel that funerals in horror, a lot of people die. You don't actually get too many funeral scenes, but they're necessary to process. And it talks about how, she's trying to grieve and the kids don't really quite understand. They're a little too young to process death. But we get the ex-wife's father and mother come up, and the father immediately starts to pick a fight with this guy. And yeah, he responds angrily, but he was just sitting there minding his own business, and this guy comes up and yells at him. So yeah, another case of this guy getting pushed down by the world. However, while we do get all these regular comic panels, we do get a point of view from a red vision. So something is watching them, and as we know from this guy's death, these creatures are a little too loyal to their owner. And let's skip ahead a few pages because I don't want to show you guys everything. But another thing is he's sitting there, and I do like we get the answer that he can concretely see them. He's not just aware of their presence, but he can actually see all of his monstrous friends, and he's eating pizza. Where have you guys been? And we see they have a portal opening ability, and they bring him back a special book. But of course, more stuff happens, but these are really short, and I don't want to spoil everything for you. But like I said, these are almost like a pet that is out of control, you know, something that you like and you like to hang out with, and it is fun to hang out with your monster friends. But yeah, when they go start doing stuff that you would rather them not, how do you get a hold on them? And we actually don't find out what the book is too much, because a bunch of other stuff starts happening, but I'd wager that that's important, and maybe you'll help him get a hold of them. I don't know. But yeah, fun, cartoony stuff, and I do like to get to know all the little entities. This one does have a splash at the end of the host. Sometimes the big splash image is the final page, sometimes it's another page of the host, and I do like, this is a really nice painting. It don't know if it credits, let me flip back to the front. Yeah, it doesn't say if the painting was done by someone else, so maybe this is Leiz's painting, I don't know. But I really do like, with all the creatures above her, like there's the girl from The Ring and stuff. But here's that end message I talked about. The terrifying anthology from horror maestro Cullen Bunn concludes with plenty of blood, beast, and bodies that's sure to want you to read this with the lights on sale December 7th. So yeah, it concludes. I'm really hoping that that's just these first two stories and not the book as a whole, because again, to kind of get this big comic book store feel, to do this concept right, you really would need to have this go on for at least 12 issues with 6 different stories. I really want it to have that anthology feel to it. But anyway, we also get our host telling us to flip the book over, or, I mean, we could open it up to see the ads. Night of the Ghoul, I covered that one on this channel. And this is actually Dark Horse doing a book. Yeah, Dark Horse Books, not Dark Horse Comics. A Rock Show to Die For Festival. That could be interesting. Maybe I'll check it out. I'll see if my comic book shop picks it up. But anyway, flipping it over to this side, and we get her, well, first there's the poster there for Something in the Woods in the Dark, and they're all hanging around their campfire distressed, and then after that we get all the people, the werewolf and his friends, this little creepy doll down there, coming in for the comic books, and she's like, they're difficult to please, and I have to have the best books. And she goes on and she starts to talk about this story, and she does mention straight up in here that it's about a shapeshifter, which, yeah, maybe I'm a little slow. I was wondering, I thought it was like a supernatural entity that was possessing them and then morphing their bodies. Maybe I just missed something, but no, it's a shapeshifter that impersonates them. Okay, well, to be fair, this is still a relatively new story. You know, we only had 2 chapters before this, and they were both half-length, so maybe I'm not that much of an idiot for missing it. But okay, we're doing a shapeshifter, very much like The Thing, but camping in the woods, and twist. It actually, yeah, it says not 1 shapeshifter, but 2, it seems. So that's pretty interesting there, and thanks to the host for clearing that up, although I would have gotten that within a few pages. But anyway, we get this guy getting killed, and they make the decision, hey, there's nothing we can do, let's just get out of here. Which, yeah, you know, might as well save your own life, don't let your friend die for nothing. So they run off, and this one girl starts to get attacked, and they said, we saw you come out of the woods, and it wasn't you, you're a monster. And she goes, no, I've been with this other guy the whole time, I can't be a monster. So it was her being impersonated, but also if the monster was over there, when she just saw a monster, that means there's 2 of them. Or, the comic hasn't said this, but maybe at least 2 of them. We get a fun scene where they have to camp out for the night. And of course, they're wondering what to do. Some of them think they should just walk through the night, but they physically don't have that much energy. But yeah, camping in the woods when you know there's a monster, that's not the best. But after some conversation, a couple of them start to go to sleep, and they're going to sleep in shifts so that they have a watch out. And one thing I do like is they start to wonder, because there's two of them and there's two creatures. She says, what if we're responsible? What if we brought this with us? What if something we did, it may be the anger and unresolved things in our relationship, somehow summon these creatures? And I'd be curious if that is actually the case. I mean, odds are, just, if this was a regular... Well, I mean, not that this would ever be a regular thing that happens, but if this were to just happen, odds are it'd just be you stumbled across some monster living in the woods that humanity hadn't encountered before. But this is a story, and in turn, things rhyme and connect to each other thematically. So it could be, and I wonder if they are going to go with that, or if it is just going to be a metaphor. I don't know. But yeah, I am wondering if they did in some way summon it, or are responsible. There are two creatures, there's two of them. Maybe their anger and hatred for each other, or something. I don't know. And yeah, that's gonna be the thing with the next issue. So overall, if you like this book, it's still good. Interesting stories. And really, I feel that both stories have firmly found their feet by this point, and a lot of this is going to be the finale. How well do they stick their landing? So issue 4, that's a big one. But to me, personally, more important, hopefully we get an issue 5. I really do think we need at least 3 plot arcs of this to really fully get the, haunted comic book shop anthology thing this is going for. So I'm hoping we will get another one. I don't know. If you guys know, again, maybe it's just an easy Google search away and I just miss it. But hopefully we do get more of these, because, I feel that this isn't the biggest, most talked about book out there, but I always thought it was pretty fun. And again, the first time I saw this on the comic book shelves, I said, ooh, a new Cullen Bunn thing, and I grabbed it up. But every subsequent time, last time, this time, it was always just a nice little feeling of, oh, hey, a new Shock Shop is out. So I really hope that keeps going. I hope people are checking this book out. It's really fun, and hopefully when it comes to trades, maybe you'll get some attention there. I kind of wonder, this is a little bit similar to Alex DeCampi's series Grindhouse Doors Open at Midnight, which I think was another Dark Horse book. And when they did that as trades, it had the flipping motif as well. So I'm wondering if they'll keep the flipping motif when it comes to trades. That would be interesting as well. But anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Cullen Bunn playlist, where you can see me talk about the last 2 issues of this book, but I also covered things like his new other Dark Horse title, Parasomnia. I also talked about Harrow County Volume 1, and a bunch of other cool stuff. The Unsound, a really underrated Cullen Bunn book. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Cullen Bunn playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.